I'm not upset that it's small. I'm just thinking that it probably we could have gone bigger. Welcome to the Garage Studio. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I try to make every living space that we occupy to be as inspiring and usable as much as possible. But as a parent, it's really not always that easy. So case in point, I'm gonna walk you through the kitchen into the living room / TV room, which we've kind of turned into everything. So this is our living room area right next to the kitchen. This isn't really ideal, to be honest, but we've had this set up for a while now. We have our coffee bar, we have the TV right on top of the mantle, which we really don't like, but when we first moved in, we really didn't have a place for a TV, and we just placed it there and we just kind of stuck with it. We don't like it because it's on top of the, right above the fireplace, and then we cover the fireplace with a bunch of stuff, like this. Whoa, that's cool. Right here, we have this table for the kids for when they draw after I pick up them from school. They basically just make a lot of artwork, make a lot of mess, they eat. Essentially, this is what we've been working with. And right here where the couch is, this L-shaped couch, this is where we sit if we wanted to watch some TV. Right over there. It's just not the nicest looking space. One of my favorite features of this space, at the very least, is that we have this wall of framed photos that we just absolutely love. Really, really nice memories. And I don't want to get rid of this. So my biggest issue with this space is that there's really no divider between the dining area and that living room space. We pushed everything against the wall, and then that leaves us a really large empty space in the middle. Also, when people are watching, they're looking at that TV, and when you're in the kitchen, you can't really see it. So what we're gonna do is we are going to redo this space to make it a little bit more inviting and also make it make sense. I do have a sponsor for this video. They are called Chita Living, and they reached out to me a few months ago asking if I wanted to try out their couch. And I looked at the couch and it looked very good and very interesting. So I said yes, because I figured this would be the perfect furniture for this space that I'm thinking of. So let's begin. So I hired someone to help me remove the old TV and mount the new one on the wall with all the picture frames. The trouble is, I don't want the TV to look like it's out of place. But believe it or not, that's actually not the most challenging part of this process, because we had to convince my son that we needed to get rid of some of his old toys so that we could make some room. He definitely put up a fight and won. Next, we had to take some measurements and find the studs so that we could mount our brand new TV onto this wall. For the TV, I chose the 55-inch Samsung frame because I wanted it to look like a piece of art as opposed to a TV. And the great thing about this TV is that it only requires one wire that goes directly to the control box, making installation a lot cleaner. While we were busy making a mess here, my wife was decorating in the other side of the room, making her own mess. But since this is one of the things that she truly enjoys, I'm okay with it. We marked the position where we wanted the TV mounted, and this is why I hired a professional, because on the first go, the TV was just way too low because I was thinking of the low profile console, so we had him remove it and mount it again, but this time higher. The next thing I had to do was unbox the furniture, and I'm not going to bore you with that entire process, but it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. The sofa that Chita Living sent me was a 4-piece modular sofa, which is easily configurable. You simply connect them together using the metal brackets. Once set up, all I had to do was connect the wires and plug them to an outlet. And of course, add some throw pillows. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a really quick tour of what we did with the space. So originally we had everything pushed up against the wall, which, I guess for most people that would make sense, but it opens up a huge space in the middle. And the problem with that is that there's really no divide between each section of the house. However, with this current configuration, there's a clear distinction between the dining area and the TV room. Also, if you're in the kitchen, you can finally watch TV with the rest of the people. So I just want to talk about the Chita Living Oliver sofa. And I think one of the things that I like about it is that it looks like a conventional sofa until you realize that you have switches and ports. And when you activate them, they just turn into this very, very comfortable reclining seats. This zero gravity recliner is one of my favorites. Now, they call this a zero gravity chair for a good reason, and I'm gonna demonstrate that in a bit. But right here you have two ports, one USB-A and one USB-C, and the switches or the buttons here to adjust this chair. And the reason why they call this a zero gravity chair is that if you fully recline this, you feel like you're kind of just sitting on a cloud. I'm totally laying down and it's crazy. Another awesome feature that this recliner has is that it has a hidden cup holder here and another one right here. And these are also really nice cup holders. These are actual metal, and when you close it, it's completely hidden. It's virtually invisible. The color just looks lovely. The material feels very luxurious, and when you have it fully reclined, it feels so comfortable. I would say that the Oliver sofa is actually even more comfortable because of the finely woven fabric that they used. It's good for pet owners because it's fine enough that no pet hair can get tangled. To be honest with you, the pictures or the video doesn't even really do it any justice. I do appreciate that they also added two ports here, one USB-A and one USB-C. One particular feature of this sofa that you'll appreciate is that if you have a small space, the back of the couch actually does not require clearance between it and the wall, meaning you can have it up against the wall and you can still fully recline it. It's actually pretty smart because all it does is it raises the legs and it kind of pulls your seat forward a little bit and it lets you recline fully back. I do appreciate this flat surface that you can use to hold small items such as your phone or a remote, and this is actually a wireless charger. Now, it doesn't charge fast, but it's a nice little feature. This storage is probably my favorite because now I have a spot for my Xbox controllers and all the remotes so that my kids don't lose them. They also included two plugs and two USB-A ports, which is a nice touch. And over here in the front is also a hidden cup holder, which uses really nice metal inserts. Oh, and just as a quick reminder, this sofa is modular, so you can reconfigure it depending on the space that's available to you. So I want to talk about the TV really quick. So this is the Samsung frame, and I chose to get the 55-inch as opposed to the bigger 65-inch. And the main reason for doing that is because I didn't want it to look like a TV. I know it is still a TV, but because it's a smaller TV and it's surrounded by these different picture frames, it looks more like a painting if I have it enabled in art mode. Also, the current console that we have is the same one that we've used for the last few years, which still contains my kids' old toys, but I just decided to repurpose it and just use it as the same console. I'm aware that there is a big gap between the TV and the console itself, so I was originally shopping for a bigger or a taller console that will fit the space better. However, I decided to just keep it as is, and eventually I'm gonna have this mounted onto the wall, which will make it into a floating console and it'll lessen the gap between the TV. I just didn't have the time to actually do it because it will require a little bit more work since it'll need some support behind the wall to actually hold up the console. So that's coming later on. However, I'm actually pretty happy with it, and especially with the Bose TV speaker that I've owned for the last few years. So I connected that to a bass module, also by Bose, and it really does amplify the sound. And one cool thing about this is that I have another Bose speaker that's in the other part of the house, which I can move around if I wanted to. And through Apple TV, I can actually project the sound to that speaker and have the other sound come out of the separate speaker that can be in the kitchen area, which kind of simulates a surround sound experience. So I didn't really add anything new aside from the TV and the couches, but it does feel like an entirely new space. The Samsung frame has a nice picture quality, and I know a lot of people are criticizing it for having to force people to subscribe just to have access to some of the really great artworks. However, you can also upload your own photos or artworks through the app. As you can see, I've actually uploaded some of the different artworks. You can also turn on art effect in the settings so that it'll dim the pictures when you're in art mode, making it a lot more realistic. The frame actually does a really good job at auto-detecting all the things that are connected to it. So right now I have my Apple TV and Xbox Series S connected to the TV, and it automatically detects it, and switching between the different sources is not a problem at all. This also has a built-in streaming service for the Xbox, so I can actually play some of the games here without having to install the Xbox. The built-in app is not terrible, and as a matter of fact, it's actually quite fast compared to the other built-in TV apps that I've tried in the past, so I don't have any real strong feelings towards it. As a matter of fact, I actually like it more than I dislike it. Honestly, I'm really happy with the TV, and the first time I saw it was during CES at the beginning of this year. I love the additional features, the fact that I can stream my Xbox Game Pass through the TV itself, and since this TV only requires one wire to go from the TV to the control box down below, it's such a clean setup, and that control box has all the ports I need to connect my Apple TV, my Xbox, and my speakers, and anything else that I might want to add. Now, there is one thing I don't like about this TV, and it's the fact that I had to purchase this frame, this particular color, which matches the picture frames that I have on the wall. I had to purchase this separately, and it was quite expensive. Honestly, if you told me that this costs about 50 bucks, I would tell you that that's a little bit too expensive for this piece of plastic that honestly doesn't even feel good. Unfortunately, it's a lot more than that. This actually cost about $200. It's crazy, but that's the only way that I could actually complete the look. So if you're considering the frame, just know that these things are a little bit expensive. And that's all for today's video. I just want to say thanks to Chita Living for sponsoring the sofa and the recliner. And honestly, all I had to do was really design around their products, because their products look amazing, they feel great, and I highly recommend you check them out. I know it's the holiday season and it can be a little bit crazy, so in case I don't see you in the next couple of weeks, I hope you have a wonderful new year, and I'll catch you guys again on the next video.